So, all right. So what to you guys makes a great brew pub, right? Okay, you got a great brew pub, but you're offering the cheers sort of thing, the familiarity. Okay, is it, you know, is it just a mix of everything? Is it the food, the beer, the this ambience? I don't know. Is there something you lean into more? Is there something you stick to more? Is there, what would you tell someone else, a friend that came to you and said, I'm going to open up a brew pub? What would you say? Look, these are the things you need to do to be successful.
From my point of view, I think you always sell an experience. You're not just selling food in a restaurant. You're not just selling beer as a brew pub. If you're a winery, you're not just selling wine. You're selling the entire package and the entire experience. So whenever somebody comes in and sits down at your bar or at your table, it's a combination of all the things. What we try to focus on is, we've as far as an ambiance standpoint, and it's small and it's intimate, and you're literally right there. There's days where we open up doors for people to come and have happy hour, and we're still finishing up a brew, or we're still cleaning up back there. And so it's a really kind of engaging experience where they can, they feel like they're right there in it,
Yeah.
But then beyond that, it's again, kind of that small pub type atmosphere, really intimate, really fun. You get to know all your bartenders, you get to know Sally, the brewmaster, you get to talk to everyone that has a hand in it. So that's fun. If you don't do that, then you can still just have a good time and enjoy a really good meal, and try a new beer, learn a thing or two about it, and kind of figure out something that's to have a new experience, I guess. So that's kind of what I think is kind of our strong points here at our particular brew pub. I know a lot of people, they work out the strengths of what they have to offer, but from our standpoint, and also being one of the first places here downtown, here in Lubbock, which, downtown's kind of been on the up and up for the past few years. Like they're making some big strides as far as trying to make this more of a destination location, more of a cool place to be, not such a barren landscape of nothingness like it has been in the past. And so I think that people really enjoy that. I think people here in Lubbock, they've been craving, a destination spot, a downtown to go to and be able to stay there the entire day and go to this winery and then go to this brew pub and go to this restaurant and spend entire time there. So I think that all kind of has been very synergetic to our success here and kind of what people expect here from us.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, that's great.
That's how I was a little rambly, but
no, not at all. Not at all. Totally get it. It's a podcast. This is what rambling is for, right? This is it's perfect. I do it all the time. Sally, I'm curious. So you'll work the bar there and serve people beers, right? That's part of your thing too?
I will. Yes, if I need to. We have bartenders and servers. But yes, if somebody comes in. Or
you'll talk to people about beer and stuff.
Absolutely. I'll pour beer, do whatever I can to help out. Yeah, we're small enough that we work together as a family.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What are some of like the, I don't know, most famous questions you get from people about beer or I don't know, some of the questions you get? Curious.
We get a lot of questions about how beer is made. A lot of people have no idea how beer is made. They don't even know it's fermented. And so, it's fine. It's okay. People don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Part of the road to, learning to like craft beer. So yesterday, a guy came in and it was really funny. And he looks around and he looks at the menu. He's like, "You got any Guinness?" I'm like, "No, sir, we don't. We make our own beer." He looks at the menu again and he says, "You got a Miller Lite?" I'm like, "No, sir, I don't." But I had to wind up talking him into, we make a Kolsch, which is on the lighter end of the spectrum. And I talked him into one of those. And when he tried it, he's like, "Oh, this is really good." And then he had, 3 or 4 Kolsches. So you have to be patient with people and just know that they don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. You're there to educate them as well. And, they'll grow on it for sure. Do you ever compare them I guess you knew right away, right? When someone says a particular beer, what beer in your arsenal to offer them that's familiar to that. So that's
style. Yes, we do have a lot hardcore beer nerds that come in, and I think they try to test me sometimes. Have you had this particular beer or this particular beer from some obscure place in Connecticut or something, you know? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I haven't. But some of them, but a lot of people will bring me beers. So that started to happen too, is where I get beer gifts a lot because they want me to try something that they enjoy.
The gift that keeps on giving, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. That's how you know you're making a difference. The engagement like that, you know, that's really cool.
It really, really is very important.
Yeah, and it does have a really good contingent of very knowledgeable beer drinkers and people that are really passionate about it. You know, there's a homebrew club here. There's like I said, there's a lot of people that are really into it. And so, you know, one of the coolest things about it was whenever we did open up, you know, people came in in droves and they were like, hey, thank you guys. Good job. Well done. And now that we're doing, you know, like we're small enough to where we can rotate through different styles all the time. Like we always on any given day have 10 to 12 taps and there's not a lot of holdovers that we just kind of do as staples. Right. So anytime we come up with a new style, we get people to come up here and they'll ask some of those questions like, hey, how'd you brew that? How'd you get that gravity? How'd you achieve this flavor profile? How'd you do this and how'd you do that? So that part's been engaging and fun as well. And, you know, you'll get challenged.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We just made a Belgian quad, which is 14.5%. And we posted about it while we were making
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I had guys from the homebrew club in come in and challenge me because they said there's no way with the system that you have that you could have made that ABV beer. And so I sat down with them and explained everything and then explained some stuff they maybe didn't know how to do to get that ABV to finalize. And then they got all excited. So we're going to go and try.
I love that.